this. I bet. Good to go. So let me get your question real quick.
Y equals 6x squared minus 9x.
Hold on. Y equals 6x squared minus 9x.
We were just having a problem putting it in
That's
like
it?
variable form.
I got you. So what we want to do with this, right? We want to complete the square. So I'm gonna go straight to my formula. All right. Well, actually, wait, I can't even go straight to my formula yet, right? Remember, I gotta rewrite this as 0
Okay, so
is equal to my fault, y'all. 1 second. All right. So 0 is equal to 6x squared minus the 9x, right? Before I continue though, right? Remember, I need to make my a term 1, right? So to make it 1, I'm going to divide by whatever number is in front of the x squared. So I'm going to divide by 6. But not just that part, everybody gets to divided by 6. Is that the right word? Divided, divisible, whatever. Everybody, right? So now, when I do that, let's look at what I have. I have 0 is equal to, right? These cancel out, x squared minus, and I can reduce this, right? Like 3 goes into 9, I think 3 times, and 3 goes into 6 2 times. So 3 over 2x, right? Okay. Now that I have that, let's go straight to my formula, right? What's the formula again?
negative b over 2a squared.
Exactly, over 2a squared. Very good, right? So now that we have that, I'm gonna pick a color. Let's do orange, right? So I'm just gonna plug it in, right? So I have negative of, what's that? Negative 3 over 2 divided by 2 times 1 and then squared, right? A negative times a negative we know is a positive, right? And then, keep change flip. So this is going to be positive 3 over 2 times 1 over 2 squared, right? Multiply straight across. What do we have? We have 3 over 4 squared, right? And when you do the math on that, that's what? That's 9 over 16, right? Now that you have the 9 over 16, you're going to add that to both sides of the equation. So I'm going to add 9 over 16 here, and I'm going to add 9 over 16 here, right? So what's my new equation that I have over here? 9 over 16 is equal to, right? X squared minus 3 over 2x plus 9 over 16, right? So now I want to factor the perfect square trinomial. So tell me, what's the factor of this going to be? X, very good. Plus or minus, which one? Minus, very good, right? And what's the number that's going to go there? 3, nope. What's the number that's going to go there? Who knows? What's the number? No, but you're close though. What's next to the 9 over 16? 3 over 4. That's what goes there. All right. So you don't have to figure it out. It's easy, I promise. This is 9 over 16 right here.
All right.
All right. Okay. I'm not done, but yeah.
Oh,
What's that?
So
Mm-hmm.
where's the 2?
Which 2?
The 2 over 1 on the bottom.
The formula. This is the formula 2a. Remember negative b over 2a? Yeah.
So why is it over 1? Negative.
We always put the whole number over 1 and then keep change flip because we're dividing fractions. Yeah. Now, just remind me, this particular question, Are they looking for
Yeah.
HK? Okay,
That's the problem.
got you. So I'm gonna show you the trick with this now, right? So what I want to do, I'm gonna basically make this equal to 0, right? So I'm gonna subtract 9/16 here. And what I do to one side, I'm gonna do to the other, 9/16 here, right? So now what do I have? I have 0 is equal to x squared minus 3/4. Oh, sorry, x minus 3/4 squared minus 9/16, right? Now, let me go back up here for a second. You remember that my issue was that the a term was not 1, right? So I divided everything by 6. I'm gonna bring back that 6 right now. Right?
On the test though, you don't mind if we just put the regular answer.
No, that's fine. So if I'm bringing back the 6, right? This is gonna, I'm multiplying everything by 6. Everything, right? So I'm gonna put a 6 right here. Every single thing. All of them. So gonna get that 6, right? So 6 times 0, what is that again? 0, right? Makes sense. All right. 0, and then this is equal to 6 times the x minus 3/4 squared minus the 9/16 times what? 6/1, right? And then we're gonna multiply this. I gotta do some tricky stuff because y'all know I'm not that good at math, right? So this is gonna be what, 8? This is gonna be 3. I'm just dividing it by 2. I think that's all I could do. So I'm gonna have 0 is equal to 6 times x minus 3/4 squared minus 9 times 3, I think is what, 27 over 8, right? All right, so now I'm looking at your question now, right? They want to know, using this formula, this is a times x minus h squared, I think plus k. I might be wrong about that, but like check that with the homework real quick.
Yeah, a times
Mhm.
x minus h squared plus k.
Okay, so I'm gonna just pick another color, right? So tell me, what is A?
Fixed.
Good. What is H?
3/4.
Good. What is K? Nope. Just 3/4. What's K? Because you see how the H in the original formula is negative, and then this one is already negative. So what's K?
A 27 over negative 27.
All right. And then that's it.
This math work.
You think so?
Yeah.
I promise you, this is
We're
real
gonna have to
nice.
do the math far so I can take this picture.
Oh, I got you. Yo, this week is just hot with politics. Like, damn. I heard this morning the FBI director done quit her job. I heard like one of the New Jersey senators just quit his job just now. Man, it's a heck of a week for politics right here.
See, that's not a lot, Chris.
Yeah, that's super like, yeah. Y'all can read that, right? Yeah, that was real. Not gonna lie. Oh, on my fault. I'm sorry.
Oh, you got it. You zoomed in all the way up there.
Wait, let me just hit it one time, see if I could get everything. Nah, I need to do it that way. Yeah. Can't even see the cells no more. Yeah.
So for all these questions though, you just set it the y to 0?
Yeah.
That's what confused me too.
Because the purpose of completing the square stack is to get the actual like roots out, the actual answer. You know? So that's why I set it equal to 0. But yeah, I know like half of your homework was like this. Anybody else have any other questions? Go ahead. All right, so open parentheses, 6, negative 4i. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's it?
Okay.
All right. So for this, just go ahead. Yeah, tell me if you want. Go ahead. Yeah. Mhm. So distribute the negative, yeah. And then what do you have after that? So 6 minus 4i minus 5 plus 7i, right? And then after that, just combine like terms. That's all you got to do. Mhm. Exactly. And that's it. That's the answer. What was your question, Sean? What was your question? Huh? 10x. Okay. And then what do we have to do here? Got you. All right. So for this one, right? This is completing a square question. So first thing I want to do, just set this equal to 0 real quick, right? So 0 is equal to 4x squared minus 10x, right? Now my issue with this question is that my a term needs to be 1. So to make the 4 basically into a 1, I'm going to divide this by 4. But the thing is, not just that part, I have to divide everything by 4. So you get divided by 4, you get divided by 4, right? I'm sorry, hold on, I have a pop-up real quick. Okay, I'm good to go. So after I do that, what do I have left? I have 0 is equal to 4 and 4 cancels out, x squared, right? And then I have this negative 10 over 4. I'm going to reduce that. So 2 goes into 10, I think 5 times, and 2 goes into 4 2 times. So 5 over 2x, just like that, right? Now, now I can get into the formula, break this down a little bit. So my formula is negative b divided by 2a, and then we square it, right? So I'm going to change up my colors real quick. So let's plug this in, right? What's my b? I have negative of negative 5 over 2 divided by 2 times 1, and then that is squared, right? After that, a negative times a negative is positive. So I'm going to have what? 5 over 2. And remember, keep change flip. So I'm going to change the division to multiplication. I'm going to flip the denominator. I have 2 over 1 in my denominator. I'm going to flip it to 1 over 2. And then, of course, at the end of it, I want to square it. Multiply straight across. What do I have? I have 5 over 4 squared, which equals what? 25 over 16, right? Now that I have the 25 over 16, I'm going to add that to both sides of my equation, right? So I'm going to add 25 over 16 here, and I'm going to add 25 over 16 here. So now, what do I have? I have 25 over 16 is equal to x squared minus 5 over 2x plus 25 over 16, right? Now that I have that, I want to factor that perfect square trinomial, right? And I know that the factor, 25 over 16, is going to be something squared. So help me out. What is it going to be? You know, the first one is going to be x. Nice. And then it's going to be plus or minus. Minus, very good, because my b term is minus, so that's going to be minus, very good. And then what's the number that's going to go there? 5 over 4, right? Very good, right? So just bring it over. You don't have to figure it out. Just copy whatever you squared, and that's it, right? So now, right? Let me go back up here for a second. I got to scroll up for a second, right? So at the beginning of the question, you notice that I divided out the 4, right? In order to get it, to be able to do this process. Now I want to introduce that 4 back, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to multiply everything here by 4. Everyone's going to get the 4, right? So distribute that, bam, then bam. So now what do I have? I have, wait, let me change my color. 1 second. I have 4 over 1 times 25 over 16 is equal to 4 times x minus 5 over 4 squared, right? After that, we're going to simplify this. I'm going to do some tricky stuff because I'm not too good at math like y'all. So 4 goes into 4 ones, 4 goes into 16 4 times. So what do I have now? I have 25 over 4 is equal to 4 times x minus 5 over 4 squared, right? So now that I'm at this step, I'm going to subtract the 5 over 4 to the other side because you know that in this question they want that particular position, right? And what I do to one side, I got to do to the other, minus the 25 over 4. So now what do I have? I have 0 is equal to 4 times x minus 5 over 4 squared minus 25 over 4, right? Now I think for the question they wanted, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, y is equal to a times x minus h squared plus k. Am I right about that? All right. So that being said, help me out. What's a? Very good. And what's b? 5 over 4. Very good. And then what's k? Negative 25 over 4. Very good. And that's it. That's how you do it. Oh, yeah, I got you. Give me 1 second, I got you. I to the second power? So I to the second power is -1. Times -1, right? Positive.
Like, right?
It's not too bad. I is the square root of -1. Yeah, homework for 9.3 is already posted, so if y'all want to start that in the middle of the lesson, go ahead. Only takes 2 seconds.
What did he do different from what you did? Because I see swipe left when you, is what you did.
We got the same answer?
Yeah. Just looks like completely, he doesn't divide, though, like, unless he does it without showing the step.
You just held the 6 here. That's the only difference. And then he factored it the same way. Perfect. Yeah, this is not bad. One second. Let me just get this. Yeah. All right, you're up. Go ahead. Like that. Right. Like this. Okay. So it's illegal for me to have radicals in my denominator. Excuse me. Yeah. It's also illegal for me to have i's in my denominator. So what I have to do here is I have to multiply it by the conjugate. Conjugate is a $50 word for opposite, right? So what's the opposite here? I'm looking at the denominator. What's the opposite for the denominator? Right? 2 minus I. But you know what I do to the bottom? I gotta do to the top, right? And then after that, just distribute it, boom, boom, all that good stuff. Combine like terms, everything that we do there. So let me see. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times negative I is negative I. Negative 3I times 2 is a negative 6I. And then negative 3I times negative I is going to be a positive 3I squared. That's just the top. For the bottom now, right? Same thing. Distribute, combine like terms, all that good stuff. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times negative I is negative 2I. I times 2 is positive 2I. And then I times negative I is going to be negative I squared. All right. After that, let's take care of them I squares, right? I squares are not so nice. So I'm gonna have 2 minus I minus 6I plus 3 times, remember I squared is negative 1. All over 4 minus 2I plus 2I minus, open parentheses, negative 1, right? Because I squared is negative 1. After you have all of that, let's do our multiplication, all that good stuff. So this becomes 2 minus I minus 6I minus 3 over 4 minus 2I plus 2I plus 1. Right? Negative is positive. Let's combine like terms and then we're done with this question, right? So when I'm combining like terms now, these two in the bottom will cancel out, right? Combining like term up top. 2 minus 3 is what? Negative 1. Very good. And negative I minus 6I is negative 7I. Very good. And then on the bottom, 4 plus 1 is, say it again?
5.
5, right? And that's it. That's the final answer. Hmm? I'm gonna have to take a look. But go ahead, Theo. What's your question? Two in the eye. Okay. Yeah. No, those can't cancel out because they're being multiplied by a constant. Yeah, by 3. Um, So what they want the fraction individually, so they want like -1/5. And then they want -7/5. They already have the I there, you know? So, that's all that is. Mhm. No, there's nothing to cancel there. Mhm. It's that. Mhm. All right. Everybody good? Yeah. All right, let me see. Okay. Like all underneath the same square root? Like that? Like that? Okay. Like this? So what I want to do here, right? I want to get rid of the radical. So I'm going to square this over here. But what I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other side of the equation, right? When I square this, what do I get? I'm going to have 7x plus 1 is equal to, I'm squaring this, this is going to be 7x minus 1, right? Plus 2 square root 7x minus 1 plus 1. If that looks confusing, just FOIL it. Yeah. So you have 7x minus 1 plus 1 times, no, excuse me. You have square root 7x minus 1 plus 1 times square root 7x minus 1 plus 1. Same thing twice. And then just FOIL it. And then combine like terms. Yeah. And then after that, my goal here is I want to solve for x, right? So let's try and solve for this. So look, I have 7x plus 1 is equal to 7x minus 1 plus 2 times square root 7x minus 1 plus 1, right? Combine like terms, what do I have? I have 7x plus 1 is equal to 7x, and then adding these together, these will cancel out. So plus 2 times square root 7x minus 1. Did I lose you or are we good? The minus 1 and the plus 1, they cancel out. Because I'm adding them together. That's what I'm doing. All right. So now I'm gonna subtract 7x from over here. What I do to one side, I gotta do to the other. All right. So now I have 1 is equal to 2 times square root 7x minus 1. Right? And then now that radical is a problem again, right? So I want to square it, right? So I'm gonna square this term here, but what I do to one side of the equation, I have to use the other side of the equation. All right? So what do I have? 1 is equal to, this is 4 times 7x minus 1. Just like that. After that, just solve for x. Right? Nothing crazy. So I'm going to divide by 4 over here. All right? So now I have 1/4 is equal to 7x minus 1. Then I want to add 1 over here. What do I have? I have 1/4 plus 1 over, excuse me, plus 4/4 is equal to 7x. Add this up, this should be 5/4 is equal to 7x. Right? And then divide by 7. Right? So x is equal to, what's this? 5/4 times 1/7, right? Is equal to 5/28. Make sense? It is. But I promise you, it's the same steps again and again and again. It doesn't change.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So wait, give me 1 second. Hold on. Yeah. Wait. And, I'll let them take their pictures. All good? Are you up? What's your question? Like that? Okay. So what's the square root of -9? 3 what? 3i, right? And then what's 7 times 3i? 21i, right? And that's it.
Do the negative, oh, it's no square, right?
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. And they're next to each other, right? So just FOIL it. That's what we gotta do. So what do we get? All right, I got 6 minus 60i, square root 60i. Um, negative square root 60i. And then So negative square root 100 I squared. Like that. Right? Combine like terms, you should get 6 minus 2 square root 60I minus square root of 100 is what? So 10 times negative 1, right? Because I squared. Combine like terms, all that good stuff. This should be 6 minus 2 square root 60I. Negative is a positive, so plus 10I. All right, no. Plus 10. Right? Mhm. I guess. You probably want to put it in a plus bi form, right? So combine like terms, 6 plus 10 is what? So 16 minus 2 square root 10I square root 60. Then hold up. And that's it. Mhm. A would be 16, B would be 2 square root 60. Negative 2 square root 60. No, I don't think you needed it in a question. See, maybe 60 could get broken down. It can 4 square root 5, right? So I could break this down into square root 4 times square root, no, no, not 5, 15, right? So 16 minus 2 times 2, square root 15, and then I. All right, and then 2 times 2 is what, 4? Mm-hmm. Say it again? What's negative? Negative 4 square root 15, and then what? Let me see. These cancel out. So this is 6 minus 10 times negative 1. 6 plus 10. 16. So A 16, B is 0. A is 0. A 16, B. My fault. I forgot to cross them out at top here. That's negative 60i, square root 60i, and positive square root 60i. So that's why I just simplified down to 10. Go ahead. What you got? Okay. Okay. Mhm. Okay. So same thing, just FOIL it, Boom, 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 boom. So I have 5 minus square root 50i plus square root 50i, and then minus, what's that? 10i squared. Yep. Then we know that these will cancel out over here. So this becomes 5 minus 10i squared, which becomes 5 minus 10 times -1, which becomes 5 plus 10, 15. A is 15, B is 0.
You foiling it or
Mhm.
just?
FOIL it, then combine like terms. Uh-huh. So you see how I have 15 as a whole number? Remember that a complex number is of the form a plus bi, right? So if this is 15 and there's no I in the formula, then this must be 0i, like that. Anything times 0, just 0, the good stuff. The I squared. Yeah. You're right, because of the I squared, yeah. And then negative times negative, positive, and that's it. All right. Or like the fourth root. Okay. Okay. So is this it? What I got here? G to the 4, Y to the what? So, well, G is just 1, right? If you can't find Y, you should just leave it alone. What's the fourth root of 256? Four? All right, so no, not the leading coefficient, just the 256. So this is 4. And then G to the 4th is going to be just G. And then you're going to have the fourth root of Y squared. All right, what's the square root of 256? Not 128, no, square root. What's the square root of 256? $16. Okay. So I'm gonna have 16G, right? Y to the second. Now, let's say I'm gonna do the math on this, right? These cancel, right? These can reduce. So this would become what? 4G y to the 2/4 power times 16g y, like that. And then we're multiplying these, right? Remember, numbers with numbers, variables with variables, all that good stuff, right? So 4 times 16 is what? So 64 g squared. Then you're gonna have y to the, what's that, 1/2 plus 1 is like what, 3/2? Something like that. Sure. So that's gonna become what? Y to the 2/4 plus 1/1, right? You gotta multiply this by 4. Roots to the bottom, roots to the top. Add it together. 2 plus 4 is 2. -9. Excuse me. 2. Yeah. What am I doing? What am I doing? 2 plus 4 is 6/4. Reduce it to become y to the 3/2, just like that. Mm-hmm. Sure, no problem. Yeah, that's the whole problem. Welcome. All right, let's get into what we're gonna get into today. As I was saying, it's a very special day, special day. It's gonna be our last time doing algebra. Last time. Yeah, next class is trigonometry, so this the last of algebra.
Oh, wait, I thought we're preparing for.
That's next week.
Oh.
Yeah. Nah. So before we begin, I like to do a little blast from the past, so help me out with this. So I want to evaluate b squared minus 4 times a times b when a is equals to 3 and b is equals to -2. What do I do? Plug it in, right? So I'm gonna have, what's this? -2 squared minus 4 times what? 3, very good, times what? -2, right? Just do the math on it, right? -2 squared is what? 4. And then a negative times a negative is a positive. And then 4 times 3, what's that, 12? And then 12 times 2, what, 24? Add those together, I get 28, right? Not bad, right? Questions on that? No? That's it. Yeah, just plug it in. That's all. All right, that being said, little blast from the past. Will probably be on exam 3. Do this for me. So I want the largest perfect square that goes into it. You can do it. Just tell me what to do. Exactly, right? This becomes square root of 36 times square root of 3, right? And the square root of 36 is what again? Okay, 6 square root of 3. And that's it. Questions on that? Good. All right. Let's try one more, then I'll feel good. How about this one? Exactly. Square root 25 times square root of 2. And the square root of 25 is what? So this is 5 square root 2. Questions on that? All right. So here's what we're getting into today. It's going to be real simple, real nice and sweet. All right. So we're going to solve quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. All right. When we solved quadratic equations in the last section by completing the square, we took the same steps every time. By the end of the exercise set, you may have been wondering, isn't there an easier way to do this? I feel like some people were asking me that. The answer is yes, right? Mathematicians look for patterns when they do things over and over in order to make their work easier. In this section, we will derive and use a formula to find the solution of a quadratic equation. We have already seen how to solve a formula for a specific variable in general, so that we would do the algebraic steps only once and then use the new formula to find the value of the specific variable. Now we will go through the steps of completing the square using the general formula of a quadratic equation to solve a quadratic equation for x. We start with the standard form of a quadratic equation and solve it for x by completing the square. Fun, right? Yeah. All right, check this out. Check this out. This is gonna be fire right here. This is gonna be fire right here. Yeah. So now watch. We start off with the general form, right? So we got ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, right? Now you remember when I'm completing the square, what's my first step? I wanna go ahead. No, not yet, not yet. You want to isolate your constant term. I'm gonna isolate our constant term. So I'm gonna subtract c from both sides. All right. Let me get a little pink marker over here. I'm gonna subtract c from both sides, right? So now what do I have? Ax squared plus bx is equal to c. But remember though, right? I cannot have my a term be any other number other than 1. So right after that, I divide everything by a. Remember this, right? Just gonna divide everything by a. So now these will cancel out. What do I have? I have x squared plus bx is equal to negative c over a, right? And now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go straight to our formula, right? Remember the formula? Our formula is negative b over 2a squared, right? You're going to plug it in, right? And then we're just going to simplify it, right? So when we plug it in and simplify it, right, this is going to work its way out to be b squared over 4a squared, right? You're going to add that to both sides of the equation, right? Both sides of the equation. Then after that, we're going to factor it. So we're going to get perfect squares. We're going to have x plus b over 2a squared is equal to negative c over a plus b squared over 4a squared, right? And you know, in order to add two fractions, you got to have the same denominator, blah, blah, blah. So we get the same denominator so that we can add, or in this case, subtract, right? So now that we have what? X plus b over 2a squared is equal to b squared over 4a squared minus c times 4a over a times 4a. All right, let's look at what's going to happen next. This is fun. This is the bomb right here, bomb.com. Yeah. Bam, right? Pull that up. So now, let's simplify this down a little bit. I still have the x plus b over 2a squared is equal to b squared over 4a squared minus 4ac over 4a squared, right? Simplify it down. I got the same denominator, so now I can subtract, right? So now I have the b squared minus 4ac over the 4a squared. Now, all I want to do is solve for x at this point, right? So what do I do to solve for x? I'm going to square root both sides. You know what I do to one side, I got to do to the other. Boom. Remember that whenever I square root it, I'm gonna have a plus or minus in the front. Remember that, right? And then it's gonna be square root b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared, right? After we do that, what do I want to do? Just subtract the b over 2a to the other side. So when I subtract the b over 2a to the other side, I'm gonna have plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac. And I can, remember I can put the square root over both of them, right? Individually, right? So I can do a square root over here, and that's how I get the 2a down here. Right? Again now, same denominator, right? So now I can add or subtract easily. So that brings me to the quadratic formula, which is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a, right? If there was something to write down in your notes, this would be it right now. That's the magic formula. Right? This will answer all your questions. And it works for everything. Every single quadratic. All right.
This is similar to the one that you showed us, but like different.
Same one. Yeah.
What's with the stuff on the inside of the, that's all doing different except it's square.
It's what's it called? It's the same thing. Nothing different with it.
So you just use yours.
Yeah. So here you go, quadratic formula, right? So the solutions to a quadratic equation of the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a does not equal 0, are given by the formula x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. That's your quadratic formula, right? And it's that simple, right?
You think this formula sheet success?
I'm thinking about it, probably. All right. So to use the quadratic formula, we substitute the values of a, b, and c from the standard form into the expression on the right side of the formula. Then we simplify the expression. The result is the pair of solutions to the quadratic equation. Notice the formula is an equation. Make sure you use both sides of the equation, right? So let's take a look. Let's take a look real quick. I'm gonna show y'all how nice this formula is. Mad simple, all right? So real quick, we're gonna solve this using the quadratic formula, right? Now remember, the formula fits this standard formula over here. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, right? Before we even get into that, real quick, somebody help me out real quick. Help me out with something. What's A? 2. What's B? 9. And what's C? -5, right? Boom. All I got to do is just plug that in the equation and I get the answer to the whole question. Light work, all right? So here we go. Here goes the equation. Let me pick a color. I'm going to do green real quick, right? So my equation is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a, right? After we get that, just plug it in. Nothing crazy, right? So this is going to be negative, and then for b, we said it was 9 plus or minus the square root. This is going to be what? 9 squared minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is -5, all divided by 2 times a, which is 2. And that's it. Just do the math. Simple, right? This is, go ahead. Okay. Like which parts I'm going to do first? I got you. So look, first I'm going to do that -9, right? I'm just going to call that -9. And then the plus or minus. I'm going to keep this square root. I'm gonna do the math on the inside of the square root first. So 9 squared, what's that? Like 81, right? And then 4 times 2, I think is 8, and then 8 times, yeah, so that's -8. So -8 times -5 is what? Positive 35. Is it 40? Yeah. Yeah, so positive 40, right? And all of that is divided by 2 times 2, which is 4, right? Let's add this up now. Let's add this up now. So I'm going to have -9 plus or minus the square root. What's that, like 121? All divided by 4. Help me out though. What was the square root of 121 again? 11. So this is -9 plus or minus 11 over 4, right? This problem is practically done, right? So I have one answer. Let's call this x1 is going to be what? -9 minus 11 all divided by 4, right? When we do the math on that, that's like what? -20 over 4. Let's call that -5, right? The other answer is going to be x. Really, Microsoft? Really? You want to do this? Like, it's going to be x2. Oh, my fault. Over 4, which is equal to, let's call this -5, right? My fault.
Why -5?
Because -20 divided by 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then x2 is going to be -9 plus 11 over 4. Now, -9 plus 11, what's that? Like 2, right? Over 4. Let's call that 1/2. And that's it. That's my answer right there. -5 and 1 over 2.
So
Light
say
work.
we're doing the homework, how would we get A, H, K, and all that stuff?
No HK and none of that. It's just A, B, and C. So what
No,
you?
I'm saying for actually for variable.
They're not gonna ask
If
you.
I
They're
go
just
back though and I want to do it this
yeah.
way.
Or like you want to do it for the AHK thing?
Yeah.
For that one,
Getting this stuff.
complete the square for that. But it's only half of that homework though. The other half of the homework is just asking for answers like this. So basically, like this is the answer to your homework. So you just type it in. So yeah, you just type it in with a comma though. So like -5, comma 1 over 2, and that's it. Yeah.
I get a picture?
Yeah, sure. Let me just get one of these minuses going real quick.
Oh, man.
Really? I thought it was cool completing the square. I actually like it better than this method.
This one seems a little bit more straightforward though.
I mean, but you could use whichever one you want though. They work for all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. My fault. This thing is like messing up real quick. That's it right there. If you want to take the picture. Got it? Got it? Well, Microsoft, what's good, man? You're so bugging on me right now, yo. Man, come on, Microsoft, what you doing? Yo, Microsoft is ODing right now. Come on. Yo, I'm just saying, Microsoft, you know it's on video, right? I'm just saying. Oh, for real? It's like that? Yeah, y'all like the algebra that much, man? I promise you, trigonometry is fire though, man. Yeah. I started it, but I didn't finish. Yeah, I'm actually like halfway done. Nah, I'm gonna get to it eventually though. I'm gonna get to it eventually though. Yeah. Oh, what the heck? Oh my lord. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna just close this out since this want to be freezing like that. And it's trying to be hurting my feelings over here. My fault, y'all. Yo, we just learned this awesome formula. We gotta get another example going, you know? We gotta get another example going. That was way too fire, you know? It's all right. We got other examples coming. Right? Would y'all like to try one though? Give y'all the opportunity. Y'all can try it out real quick. Try that out. Hmm? Say again?
What's the question? Okay.
You want the formula? I got you, man.
I got the AX part.
Yeah, I got you. So it's x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. And then, yep. And then remember that this corresponds to ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. And then go ahead. Like legit, all y'all have to do is figure out what A, B, and C is and plug it in. That's it. That's the whole problem. The only thing that I could do to make your life hard is I could give you the question. It's not in the standard form here, then you just gotta push it into the standard form and that's it.
If B is negative, the formula just doesn't show the negative sign, does that mean I can, like, B squared, I have a negative, do I
Yeah, it
keep
should be it
negative?
should be like -5 squared.
Okay, I was wondering if you just put it as 5 squared, because the formula shows it.
I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, that part in particular doesn't matter because you're squaring it, but it matters in the front.
For the AC part, you multiply it by A and then multiply by C,
That's for factoring.
so -4.
For this one, oh, you mean eight? I mean, yeah, -4 times a times c. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. It's in the announcement for yesterday. You can take a look if you want. You can take a look at it if you want. We ain't finished learning everything on it though, so you know. So how do you get it? So I like the square root. Yeah. So what do you do when you square root the 36? Which was put in front of you? 6. No, no, but in front of that, what do you always put in front of the square root of the number? It's like in this formula. Yes. So that's what it is. It's 2 answers. 6 and I guess. All right, let's take a look at this real quick, right? It's gonna be fun right here. So somebody help me out. What's A in this situation? 3. All right, that's 3. Good. And what's B? -5. And what's C? 2. That's excellent. All right. So right after that, what I want to do, I just want to plug these in. So I'm going to have negative of -5 plus or minus the square root of -5 squared minus 4 times 3 times 2, all divided by 2 times 3, because that's 8, all right? And after you get this, just do the math. A negative times a negative is a positive, plus or minus square root. What's this? 25 minus, is that 24? Yeah. All right, 24, all divided by 6, right? And then we know 25 minus 24 is like 1, right? So this becomes 5 plus or minus the square root of 1 over 6. And we know the square root of 1 is just 1, right? So this becomes 5 plus or minus 1 over 6. So I got 2 answers here, right? So I got x1 is going to be equal to 5 minus 1 over 6. 4 over 6, let's call that what? 2 over 3? Not too bad, right? Then I have x2. That's going to be what? 5 plus 1 over 6. Call that 6 over 6. Let's just say that that's 1. And that's it. That's my 2 answers, 2 over 3 and 1. So when you're entering that in WebWord, just remember there would be like 2 over 3, comma, 1 for the 2 separate answers, and that's it. Questions on that? Oh, yeah, it's just 1. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, sure, sure. It's a new page, so it better not freeze. All right, real quick before we go into another one, I know this is a lot of fun. All right, just want to give y'all some notes real quick. All right, Mhm. Just a number, but put in like parentheses so that it's more like organized a little bit, and that's good. 1 second. Made that too big. All right, cool. So just want to give y'all a little bit of notes real quick. So how to solve a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. Step 1, write the quadratic equation in standard form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Identify the values of a, b, and c. Step 2, write the quadratic formula, then substitute in the values of a, b, and c. Step 3, simplify. Step 4, check your solutions. You don't really need to do that because it's going to work, but if y'all want to, go ahead. All right. And that's how to solve a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. All right. Let's look at something else, something more interesting. So this is what I was saying. The only thing that I can really do to make your life hard with this question is this, right? if you say the formula as you write it in each problem, you'll have it memorized in no time. And remember, the quadratic formula is an equation. Be sure you started with x equals, right? That's important. So let's look at this example right here. It's mad simple, but I guarantee somebody gonna make this mistake. I don't know who it is. Somebody gonna make this mistake. It's probably somebody that's not here right now. Right? So we're gonna solve this quadratic formula, x squared minus 6x is equal to -5 by using the quadratic equation, right? Now, here's the thing, right? Standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. This question over here is not in standard form. This is x squared minus 6x is equal to -5. To put it in standard form, I'm going to add this 5 over here. And when I do to one side, I gotta do to the other. Now it's in standard form, right? So what do I have? I have x squared minus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. So now you could tell me, right? What is A, what is B, and what is C? So somebody help me out. What's A? Good. What's B? -6. Good. What's C? 5, right? Now you see if I didn't do that, and you said that C was -5, it would mess up your whole problem, right? Put it in standard form. Standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, right? After that, you already know. You're gonna just throw this in the formula, call it a day, right? So my formula is x is equal to -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a, right? And we're just gonna throw them in. It's gonna be real nice and simple. Matter of fact, I want to use rainbow right here. So I got negative, so what's my b? -6 plus or minus the square root, right? What's my b squared? -6 squared minus 4 times a. Hold on, I forgot what a was. 1 times c, which is 5, all divided by 2 times a, which is 1, right? And then we just do the math. Negative times negative is positive, right? So this is 6 plus or minus square root. What's that? 36 minus, I think, 20, something like that. All divided by 2. Let's keep that going. This is going to be what? 6 plus or minus square root 16 over 2. And square root of 16 is what again? 4, right? So this is just 6 plus or minus 4 over 2. Can't beat that, right? We could divide out the 2, make our lives a little bit simpler. This is going to be simply be what? 3 plus or minus 2, right? We got 2 answers here. X1 is going to be 3 minus 2. Somebody help me out. What's 3 minus 2? 1. Thank you. Thank you. And then X2 is going to be simply just 3 plus 2. What's 3 plus 2 again? Forgot. 7. Got it. All right, 5. And then that's it. Boom. So my answers right here. Questions on this? Simple. Lesson here, always put it standard form. The ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Yeah. So your answer should always answer your equation, right? Should always equal 0. Right? Everything on one side equals 0. Mhm. I'm gonna let you guys try one. If you feel like you mastered this already, go ahead and knock out your homework.
Same thing, this one adds in
Mm-hmm. Same thing. Help y'all out a little bit. Standard form. AX squared plus BX plus C is equal to 0. Quadratic formula, x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. Right?
question.
Mhm.
So for like the variable C,
Mhm.
if the number has a variable with it, should I keep it
What do you mean?
like at 70? For C, do I just keep the number, not the letter, leave the letter behind?
Just a number. C is just a number.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like we're only dealing with the coefficients, the numbers in front, variables. Um, actually, no, just remove both sides. 60. You square root this side, right? You're gonna get the x minus 3. You square root this, what you get, 9. And then there's, what is it? 3. Not just 3. What's in front of it? Negative 5, right? Plus or minus, and then you just add it to that. So now you're gonna have, so it's like 3 minus 3, and it goes like 3 plus 3. Yeah. Same thing, 1 minus 1. Yeah, it's in front. Oh. As far as the exams are concerned, just reminding y'all, like, I do drop the lowest, right? And also, if y'all bring y'all exams to tutoring, get all the corrections, whatever points you missed, I'll give you back half the points that you missed.
So, yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah. Y'all could give it to me on the final when I do the, yeah, that's fine too.
If you give the test.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna get that back to y'all by Monday. First, no, the first. Yeah, next Thursday. It's not bad though. Y'all do good. The final itself, um, let's see. It's not even on me. It's really on registrar. So like I'm gonna give them the grades, and it's whenever they decide to like Click enter, give it to y'all kind of thing on CUNY first. But y'all won't know before like what's the first day of school? August 28th or something? Like y'all know before then. It's August 21st? Yeah. Which one? So one answer is 3 minus 3 and the other one's 3 plus 3. Uh-huh. And then comma, the other answer is 3 plus 3. Yeah. Yeah. Huh? 28? All right, it's not bad. It's a long time from now. Yeah, that's a long time from now. Like I said, when y'all all go to Math 30, y'all welcome to come back to tutoring. I'm there. I help y'all, you know. So we finish this one. Go. What we gotta do, just plug it in, get the answer. Remember the comma in between the answers when you're doing your homework, and that's it. Yo, what's tomorrow? Wednesday? All right. Yo, tomorrow's pantry, so you guys bring y'all bags and whatnot. Grab y'all groceries. Yeah. Low hall, admissions building downstairs. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. So in yesterday's announcement, I posted the link in case it's your first time going. You just fill that out. You go get your groceries and all that. Yeah. The meat that they give you and stuff is frozen, so if y'all need to come to class with it, y'all can. But I would recommend taking a cab home though afterwards.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's bulky and heavy. Mhm. And I think in August, if y'all interested, I think there's 2 more days they're gonna actually do pantry for your class. So 3 minus 3, 0, 2 plus 3, 6. Also, they want 0 comma 6. All right, let's take a look at this real quick, right? So I want to do this question, but before I could do it, gotta have it in standard form, right? So to get this in standard form, I'm gonna add 10b over here. But what I do to one side of the equation, I gotta do to the other side of the equation. So I'm gonna add 10b over here. Now it's in standard form, right? So what do I have? I have b squared plus 10b plus 24 is equal to 0, right? Now somebody help me out. What's A? 1, good. What's B? Nope, what's B?
Oh,
10, right? And what's C? 24, right? After that, you already know, just plug it in the formula. Nothing crazy. So I'm gonna have x is equal to negative, let's see what b is, 10 plus or minus the square root of what, 10 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 24, all divided by 2 times a, which is 1. All right? Just do the math on that. Nothing crazy. Negative 10 plus or minus square root, what's this, 100 minus, oof, 96. Thank you, appreciate that. Divided by 2, right? And we know 100 minus 96, that's like what? It's like 4, right? So square root of 4 over 2. This is going to become what? Negative 10 plus or minus square root of 4 is 2 divided by 2, right? I'm going to divide 2 out of all of this, right? If you're wondering how I'm doing that, this answer is actually negative 10 divided by 2 plus or minus 2 over 2. So that's how I simplify it like I did in the last one. So this becomes like negative 5 plus or minus 1, right? And then that's my two answers right there, right? So x1 is going to be negative 5 minus 1, call that negative 6. And x2 will be negative 5 plus 1, call that negative 4. And that's it. All right? Questions on this?
Alright, so why does the B go in front of the 24?
The b go in front of the 24?
The 10 B.
Because I always write my equations in descending order, right? So my quadratic is first, and then my single variable is second, and then my constant right after. Right? So ax squared
That's
plus
all the
bx
time.
plus c all the
Like
time.
whenever you add both sides.
Yeah. Oh, like if there was a variable next to it, it'll go in the middle. Yeah. Always, always, always. All right. Don't want to go over this one. That one looks kind of simple. This looks kind of simple. Not interested in that. I'm like kind of thinking about time and everything right now. And I feel like this topic is, I'm sorry? Okay. I feel like this topic is simple, so we could kind of jump ahead a little bit. So real quick, just some notes before we jump to another really, really exciting example, all right? When we substitute A, B, and C into the quadratic formula and the radicand, that's what's underneath the radical, right? The radicand is negative. The quadratic equation will have imaginary or complex solutions, all right? Just a note. And then another thing to say right here. Remember to use the quadratic formula. The equation must be written in standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Sometimes we will need to do some algebra to get the equation into standard form before we can use the quadratic formula, right? And that is a situation. So literally, this is the hardest question you'll ever see. That obviously is not standard form right there, right? So what I have to do is I have to force it into standard form, right? Wait, just to recap real quick, standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, right? So to fix this up, right, I'm going to distribute, combine like terms, and then we can work with the problem, right? So when I distribute this, what do I have? I have x squared plus 6x plus 4 is equal to 0. Boom. Now I'm in standard form. So somebody help me out. What's A? 1, good. And what's B? 6, good. And what's C? 4. That's excellent. That's excellent. All right. Let's jump straight to the formula. Let's jump straight to the formula. X is equal to negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all divided by 2A, right? Right after that, let's just plug them in. Let's just plug in these numbers. All right, we're gonna keep this simple, right? Keep it moving, keep it simple. All right, so I'm gonna have this is equal to negative of B, which is 6, plus or minus the square root of 6 squared minus 4 times A, which is 1, times C, which is 4, all divided by 2 times A, which is 1. All right? Simple, simple, simple. Just do the math on this, right? This is going to be negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 16, I think, all divided by what, 2? And when we do the math on this is going to become negative 6 plus or minus, I think, square root 20 over 2, something like that, right? And then you already know we could break down square root 20 into what? Square root 5 times 4, right? I'm gonna say 4 times 5, all divided by 2. It doesn't matter. Square root of 4 is what again? 2, right? So this is negative 6 plus or minus 2 square root 5 over 2, right? And then we can reduce this a little bit, right? I'm just gonna break it apart so that you can see how I'm gonna reduce it. So this is negative 6 over 2 plus or minus 2 square root 5 over 2, right? These twos will cancel out. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into negative 6, negative 3 times. Final answer, negative 3 plus or minus square root 5. And that's it. All right. You can give me that, or if you want to give me the two separated answers, I'll take it, right? If you want to give me negative 3 minus square root 5, right? Let's call that x1. And you want to give me for x2 negative 3 plus the square root of 5, I'll take that as well. Whichever answer you like better. That's it. What you think? Doable?
That's a lot to
Yeah. Yeah. Keep in mind too, right? Like you guys see me struggling up here, but y'all have calculators. Right? Y'all could look up any multiplication at any time if y'all need to. Wow, that is small. Like if it looks small on my computer, how it look on the screen? Yeah. 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 Right? To zoom it in, yeah. All right. I'll let y'all try one. Then after we go over it, you guys could start your homework. I'll still be here trying to download this stuff.
I saw yesterday, what time did it finish? That was like 11. 10 or something, it was crazy.
Yeah, it takes mad time.
He was not here today.
Yeah. Till 10, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
We left at like 8.
So-
it was 2 hours.
So what happens is, how's it go? So it has to download from Zoom, right? That takes some time. I've never clocked it, but it takes time. Let's call that an hour, right? And then after that, like I type up the what you call it, the announcement, and I upload it to YouTube, but I don't wait for it to finish uploading to YouTube. So like I just like walk out with that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if when I walk out, y'all could actually click the link once the announcement is up. I don't know if that works, but like I know that on my end it says that it's still processing. You know?
You don't wait until it's
Yeah.
10. It's something.
No, I don't wait till YouTube finishes uploading it.
So you're here till 9 and 10.
Kind of like yeah.
So over here doing all math.
Mhm.
Wow.
Sometimes one or two people will stay back and we might do some homework questions. You know? It's not bad. Yeah, if y'all are bored of this, like y'all could do the homework. It's the same process. Nothing's different. Just make sure that you get it in standard form first, and then use the formula, boom, 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 and then that's it.
The other thing with the plus and B, that only happens when you have like a variable you add.
The plus or minus, you mean?
No, when you have to make the end equal 0, so you add.
Always. Always make the end equal 0.
No, I'm saying like
Mhm.
if you add 10 to
Yeah.
cancel that out.
And what you do one side, you do to the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if you have a variable that takes.
That
place.
goes with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only time that happens.
Yeah, when it's not in standard form. So yeah, you guys, pantry tomorrow. Remember, grab y'all groceries. Y'all got friends, let them know. Right?
Tomorrow, heavy,
Mm.
the lesson.
A lesson?
Yeah.
A little bit. We're gonna do some trig.
You could do that like calculator, but.
Mhm.
See if you got the cosine, tangent.
Mhm. Yep. If you want, y'all could go to tutoring and learn how to use your calculators. It's fine. Mhm.
Use the calculator to solve questions for you.
Y'all could. Yeah, that's there. No lie, I'm gonna be real disappointed if y'all don't at least get a 50 on this next test. Yeah. Cause I ain't even gonna lie, half of the test could be done on the calculator. I just don't got time to show you how. No?
Do you hear I was there?
Mhm.
Well,
You can. It's posted.
what time does student start or you start? Well,
It starts 12, but I don't get there till 1. You start work at 12? What time you get off there? Same thing I get off.
12.
Yeah. What about you? What's your work schedule? Nice.
But right now, it's South Coast.
Yeah.
Earlier,
Okay. Not bad.
Oh, it's close by? Get here now.
Huh?
Get here an hour.
you in 30 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fridays, Sunday.
Got you.
this,
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
that is pretty much.
yeah. That makes sense though. I mean, like, that's your summer break right there.
I think it's very like flexible. So
Hmm. Whenever you got to.
maybe
Really. I'm just trying to solve for X. So you would subtract that to the other side, and divide by that, and then square root both sides. Yo, y'all excited for the Olympics on Friday? The Olympics, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's 10 a.m. Paris time, 10 a.m. Oh, isn't it 6 hours?
Yeah, on my phone,
Yeah, yeah. Damn. Italy is 7 hours. Okay. Like France is more east, right? Um 10:30. That's mad early.
7:30 euros.
7:30 Europe time. Got you. And I'm
7:30.
man, I'm gonna just roll over and turn the TV on. Like I'm not even gonna jump up. Yeah.
So what there is, so like you don't know math, like this type of math.
Yeah.
So I was drawing for a problem on the board, and
Yeah.
Michael knows how to do that.
Yeah.
He's sitting there, he's like, I know how to do this, don't even do it. Like, plus five both sides. It's just started there like, no,
Yeah.
look at your equation.
Nice. All right, let's take a look at this real quick, right? So remember, my goal here, right, is to get it into standard form first. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna distribute this to both sides. So what do I have? I have x squared plus 2x minus 5 is equal to 0. That's standard form right there, right? Oh, whoops. Clicked on the wrong thing. Hold on. Yo, go away. Hold up. All right, we good. Sorry about that. So standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, right? That being said, somebody help me out. What's a? 1, what's b? 2, and what's c? -5. Excellent, right? Right after that, go straight into the formula. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a, right? And then just plug it in. Real simple, real nice, right? So this is going to be equal to negative, and then what's b? 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared, very good, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is -5, all divided by 2 times a, which is 1, right? Let me just scroll down a little bit. And after that, just do the math. Nothing crazy here. This is -2 plus or minus the square root. I think this is like what, 4 plus 20? Something like that, divided by 2. Call this -2 plus or minus square root 24, all divided by 2. And then the largest perfect square that goes into 24, I think, is what? Let's see. 6 and 4, I like that. So this is going to be -2 plus or minus the square root of 4 times 6, all divided by 2. And the square root of 4 is what again? 2, right? So this is going to become -2 plus or minus 2 square root 6, all divided by 2, right? And then just so that you guys can see, I'm going to break this apart. This is -2 divided by 2 plus or minus 2 square root 6 over 2. These 2's will cancel out. These 2's will become 1. So this final answer would be -1 plus or minus the square root of 6. And then that's it. Again, if you want to give me 2 separate answers, that's fine as well. -1 minus square root 6, call that x1 equals. And then for x2, we'll say -1 plus the square root of 6. I'll take that as well. All right. Well, no, either this or this. So either both of them together or both of them separate. Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is gonna be real tiny. All right, that's the whole thing right there. I'm not gonna lie though, when I was completing the square, I don't think I ever minimized it that much. So, yeah, just. Then you're gonna square root both sides, square root of 25.
Negative?
No, it's positive. Because that's the five is negative. If you square root of 25, you should have plus or minus 5, just add 6.
Plus.
Just add 6 up here. So you should have like 6 minus 5 is 6 plus 5. So yeah, that's it. Can I take this down? Anybody else still copying? Take it down? All right. So for everybody listening in, tomorrow's pantry. Have a good night. For everybody online, I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right.